Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, y'all, as you can probably see in my face, I'm trying to follow. This is so artistic. Hey everybody, it's me, Rosalie. Welcome back to the Ultimate World Music and Psychology channel, where we dive deep and explore one of the arts and languages that connect us all, which is music. And today I'm going to check out an artist from the United Kingdom. Born in London Borough of Hackney, London, United Kingdom, I believe. Timothy Lee McKenzie, born in 89, better known as his stage name Labrinth, is a British singer, rapper, songwriter, and record producer. And I was encouraged to check out his song Mount Everest. Came out a year ago and has 24 million views. So I have no idea what to expect. This is a brand new first for me when it comes to this artist, when it comes to, though the name sounds familiar. I don't know why. But we're going to check it out and enjoy. Make sure to subscribe. I'm so glad you're here.
Mount Everest ain't got shit on me.
Okay.
Mount Everest ain't got shit on me. 'Cause I'm on top of the world. I'm on top of the world. Yeah. Boys Dubai ain't got shit on me. You can touch the sky, but you ain't got shit on me. 'Cause I'm on top of the world. I'm on top of the world. Yeah.
Burn down my house and build it up again. Tell 'em I burn it down twice just for the fun of it. Tell 'em so much money I don't know what to do with it. Tell 'em I don't pick up my phone, ain't knowing what the time. Tell 'em I got me one gun and an alibi. Tell 'em so much love that the whole thing feel like a lie. Don't need nobody. I 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 don't need nobody. Mount.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, y'all, as you can probably see in my face, I'm trying to follow. This is so artistic. His voice is dope, okay? Now, there's obviously various effects on it, but it sounds like, and I'm assuming this is him hitting those high notes, that he got a crazy vocal range. So, that aside for a second, how wide his vocal range is and his ability to hit those really, really high notes, there are, effects on the voice and whatnot, but I'm hearing a really strong voice, a lot of strength, a distinct timbre and texture to his voice, right? But it's so artistic and it's moving so fast that I'm trying to grasp what's going on, because psychologically, this is just the perfect song for this channel, because there's just so much you could interpret in so many ways. On one hand, it's so artistic that it really leaves room for the viewer and listener to take what they find, but at the same time, what I'm seeing here when it comes to like psychology and even philosophy is this duality, right? The black and the white outfit, that black long piece of what looked like stretchable cloth that connects the two, right? That covers their head, right? Almost like as if you're blinded, perhaps. But also there's this tension of two polar opposites pulling, right? Maybe dark versus light, maybe the good versus the bad, maybe that internal struggle. Could that possibly be what is implied here? It starts very confident, right? And I thought it was one of those flex songs where you're saying, Mount Everest doesn't have ish on me, right? Like I'm it. But then these high notes he hits almost sound like a wailing of sorts, a screaming. And then now these two figures in the black and white being pulled apart, this person falling into the water, this him, I think it is, floating in the water. It just now is becoming much more like this, almost like he's giving us insight into his, or, for whomever this song is, into the mind of a person. That struggle between this mountain and these different, majestic world wonders and natural phenomenons that we admire, that people try to climb to achieve something, right? When you've climbed Mount Everest, wow. When you go to Dubai, like these high, tall, powerful places we consider glorious as humans, to say they have nothing on me implies a level of strength and confidence. But at the same time, there's a plea here, right? I don't need nobody. Usually when people say that, they're hurting. Most of the time when someone says, I don't need anybody, they don't really mean it, because we all need somebody. Need somebody. Da, 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 da. You know that I could use somebody. That makes me think of that. Anyways, let me go back just a bit. Like even that, right? Him sitting there on a chair with his head down, a bunch of empty chairs all around. First, they looked in order. I think, if I recall correctly, it all looked like it was in order. Yep. Maybe like at a graduation, a concert, some event. Maybe like at a graduation, right? Graduation being that moment of Mount Everest for many people. They climb the mountain, they get their education, they get their degree. Now they're on top of the world, right? You're starting your life. You finished school. The world is your oyster. The future lies ahead. Your future is bright, whatever. It makes me think of that. And yet he's there all by himself, surrounded by empty chairs, empty plastic chairs. Now I know maybe I'm going too deep. Okay, it could mean nothing to some of you. It could mean everything to others. But to me, it implies some type of organized event, maybe some type of celebration. Yet plastic chairs that you can see through. So there's an element of transparency. There's an element of, it's not some real hardwood, or metal or cushioned, right? It's hard plastic chairs. Reality in life is hard. Sometimes if we are willing to look, we can see that there's a lot of transparency, that we're not all transparent. There's a lot hidden that we keep from the world, even from those we love sometimes, because we're afraid of being hurt. We're afraid we're a burden. We don't want to be vulnerable. But when we start learning about people, it becomes a little more transparent, that we're more fragile than we realize. It's like a plastic chair in a way, right? Him sitting there by himself, looking down, a level of sadness. Just all these elements that you could interpret in so many different ways. But now, later on in the video, all the chairs are scattered everywhere. It's more chaotic. So we went from Mount Everest doesn't have ish on me. There's order, there's strength, these crazy high notes, what skill, what power, to saying I don't need nobody.
Mount Everest ain't got shit on me.
Wow. That final expression of that statement, Mount Everest doesn't have ish on me, it almost to me sounds the other way now. And maybe that's because I've now seen the music video and now that's on my mind. But it almost now sounds defeated. It almost sounds now like I ain't ish compared to Mount Everest. To me, that's how I perceived it. It didn't feel quite as I'm it, you got nothing on me, but now it almost more felt like broken. And that pointing the gun and it piercing what was a glass wall, a plastic wall, a mirror, maybe more so targeting his own reflection, that internal battle when you feel alone or you don't know who you can talk to. It's so artistic. I mean, even just going through, there's so many elements here. And it's very few lyrics, generally speaking. And yet so powerful, just that hook. Him running these brick walls, like floating in what looks like some type of pool, having that gun, pointing it, trying to escape yourself, sitting behind a desk, what looks like rain outside, or at least the window doesn't look clean. It looks murky, maybe from moisture. The head or the upper body behind a screen. That too is powerful, my friends, because even thinking about how we present ourselves on TV and music videos, on social media, we want to appear like Mount Everest doesn't have ish on us, right? We want to appear like we are strong and great and powerful and beautiful and youthful and we're never going to die on screen. That's just why I find it interesting that there's this TV, such an artistic song and music video. But we present ourselves that way. We want to appear that way. But his arms are hanging limp. He's not sitting there in confidence. He's not sitting there ready to perform. He's sitting there with a side profile, saying what he's saying, with his arms hanging down. And oftentimes, when it comes to body language, our arms hanging down, our feet in a relaxed position, can show a level of defeat. There's no level of guardedness like when you cross your arms, or defense or offense. There is no, engaging motion like when we lean forward with an open body posture. It's more this idea of defeat, in my opinion. And that too is interesting because life is like that. A lot of times it's Mount Everest. We're all trying to climb it. We all want to be successful. We all want to survive. We all want to be inspirational to a degree in some shape or form, or mean something to somebody. But he's sitting there and he's saying, Mount Everest doesn't have ish on me. But there's this screen. And behind the screen, it's a different story. On screen, we want to be courageous and bold and brave. But behind that screen, there's a whole lot of lonely people screaming at those high notes, wailing. Or then even saying, I burned it down twice just for the fun of it. That too, that expression, and I'm going to interpret it in my own ways. I could be missing something. When you burn something down for the fun of it, right? You're trying to destroy something just for the fun. That to me sounds like a person that's hurting, a person that's looking to start something, that's crying out for attention, that's doing something not just once but twice just for the fun. And usually that's not the truth either. Usually it's not just for the fun. There might be some type of addiction. There might be some type of desire for adrenaline. There might be some type of desire to feel pain because we're hurting inside, or for someone to pay attention to us. And then he refers to, like I already said, he's referring to the Mount Everest. He's referring to Dubai, which is a huge skyscraper, right? He's talking about these high and mighty phenomenons. You could touch the sky, but you ain't got on me. I'm on top of the world, right? Implying I'm it. I made it. But yet we see the music video, and I don't know, man. It just feels more like turmoil than it does power and success. Even saying, don't pick up my phone. I ain't no one worth the time. I got me one gun and me an alibi. So much love that the whole thing feels like a lie. Wow. Okay, so what? He's going to go kill someone. He has an alibi, or maybe himself. Ain't no one worth the time, right? It would appear at superficial glance like someone flexing, saying, I don't need nobody. Nobody's worth my time. I'm on top of the world. That Dubai skyscraper got nothing on me. Mount Everest got nothing on me. I'm it. But then to say things like, ain't no one worth the time. So much love, the whole thing feels like a lie. And then that screen and that pulling between that man in the black and in the white outfit with that black tarp, black cloth pulling, right? Covering the faces. It's like you're trying to escape. You're trying to break free, right? Your whole self is hurting. I don't need nobody. This is not, to me, nobody to save me. It really doesn't feel like a powerful success story, but more like someone who says I'm it, but actually hurting inside. And like I said, in our day and age, especially behind these screens we live in, there's a lot of that going on. From famous people that are making it and have millions of viewers and listeners that are on these platforms, who are often more prone to flex, who have people that love and adore them, and people that hate them too. But you have those type of people who may say that and are hurting inside and lonely, but you have it day to day. Many of you who know this, who wish they could say they're successful, who wish they could say Mount Everest has got nothing on me, but you feel like Mount Everest is actually crushing you and has got nothing on you, in the sense of you feel like you're nothing. You feel like you're crap. Really artistic, really powerful. Those are ways that I'm interpreting it. What do you think? What did that evoke in you? How did that make you feel? If it wasn't your music genre, I applaud you if you still listen to it. If you are a Labrinth fan and you dig his work, Why? What about this did you like? Let me know in the comments below. I'll see you on the next track.